Welcome back, everybody. Another day, another game of League of Legends, and I am now once again joined by the Cass. Go on and introduce yourself, Cass.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully, we'll have a great night of games.
Yeah, a little bit of a hiatus. You missed the last two games. Tarleton lost the first series, but then they came back and won that last series. So far, Texans going back and forth. Tonight's going to be exciting to see what they pull off here.
Yeah, and we're looking at the draft now, and I'm seeing the Orin Thresh Kate band and a Mel Victor Corky band with an Ash first pick for Ithaca.
Yeah, with that Ash first pick, they're definitely looking to have a bot lane that can either engage early on or just try to find these ultimates. I must have saw how you missed it, but Labubu was hitting all these cross-map Ash ultimates like insanely, just all the way up to mid lane or even sometimes beyond that. So they might just be trying to deny that pick to not let Labubu have that champion.
I was able to watch a little bit of the games while I was out of town, but I really thought that Ithaca was going to choose the Braum Ash bot, but they didn't unless that Seraphine was going mid. However, if it is an Ashe Seraphine bot lane, I'm gonna side with Tarleton. Jinx Melia classic combo. I love it. Having the extra attack range on that Jinx with the rockets, that's gonna be deadly for Ithaca late game.
Alright, I'm back. Let me know if there's still that static sound. Hopefully, change something. Maybe that'll help. But if it's still there, I'll try to do other things. But, yeah, just let me know in chat. What'd you cover while I was gone?
I was just going over the bot picks for Ithaca and Tarleton. However, that Seraphine pick could be a mid. As I was saying, I thought they would pick Ashe Braum bot, but with a Zac jungle, I'm feeling it's more of an Ashe Seraphine bot. And I can see that Tarleton went with the Xin jungle pick and a Fiora ban, and then Ithaca went with a set ban, which probably smart on Ithaca.
Early on, or just try to find
Fjord is really good on set and knows how to
you
bully
missed it, but Labubu was hitting
and then
all these cross-map
last
Ash
ban for
champion.
Tarleton is going to be Vigar.
Alright, I lowered down my volume. Hopefully that'll help too. Just keep us updated, guys.
Ban the Swain. They are afraid of Gimmick on the Swain.
I'm gonna side with Tarleton. Jinx Melia classic combo.
But it looks like Gimmick is gonna go Ziggs mid. And let's see what Ithaca has for a counter to Ziggs. Galio. That's gonna be a little tough. However, if Ziggs does play his Blast, I believe it's its W. You can correct me on that, as I don't play Ziggs too often. But if you can blast back Galio before Galio can get his taunt off, that'll be a win for Ziggs. But if Galio, apologies, gets on top of Ziggs, that's going to be a deadly. As we know, Galio does way too much damage for what Galio typically builds, as he's just a tanky mage stomper.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that. It is the Ziggs W. I have now turned up Cass, and I've turned myself down even more. Keep updating me, guys. We gotta get these settings perfect for you guys so we can enjoy tonight's game as much as we can. Yeah, I mean, thank you for covering draft so far. Good to see it. Like you talked about, Gimmick, he loves that Ziggs pick. We see him all the time perform these really good Ws like you were talking about. So I would not be surprised at all if he does use it to cancel that Galio W or the taunt like you were talking about, or just slow down Ithaca's engage here. But overall, yeah, they do have really good engaged tanky comp on both sides. It's going to be interesting to see which team prevails here. We are now getting into draft. Let me go and swap you guys on over.
Looking at the initial drafts, I'm definitely siding with Tarleton on this one. I love the Jinx Melio bot lane. I love the Ilaoi pick top. Xin Zhao is a classic jungle we love to see in team fights. The only one I'm a little bit iffy on is Zig's pick, but that's my personal preference, as I really love mid assassins. But
as he's just a tanky mage stalker.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that. It is the Ziggs W. And I have now turned up Cass. Yeah, I pulled up the stream on my phone, and I'm like almost minimized on my volume end, so I have no clue why I'm so loud. And then you are also so quiet, even though I've turned you up both on Discord and Streamlabs. Gonna have to try and figure this out. So you just keep chatting up to the streamers, and I'll try to figure it out on my end.
it's gonna have to be a Cass yapping session. Oh boy. I guess I'll keep talking about just the picks. Again, Ithaca having the Ashe Seraphine bot lane. If Ashe and Seraphine can get their CC off, that'll be entirely up to, as y'all know, #1 Val fan. So I know Val's gonna get those Melio ults off, and I don't think they're gonna let Ashe and Seraphine get as good of a CC combo as they would like. The only issue I do see is vision. Tarleton has been getting a lot better with their vision, but having that Zac and Galio, the pressure of Zac being able to jump over the walls, Galio able to ult from not as far as he used to, but Galio can still push mid, roam bot, and get an easy double kill if he catches them off guard. However, hopefully Gimmick will be able to keep the pressure mid and not allowing Galio to roam as often. Or if Galio does roam, Ziggs being able to just push the wave and get the tower quickly with his bomb pack. Now, someone in chat may be able to educate me, or PowPow if you can. Ilaoi Olaf top lane. I'm not sure who wins that. I mean, Ilaoi just with her tentacles, I feel that she will always win in any fight because those tentacles come up, she ults, she never dies, no matter what she do. But I mean, Olaf, when he ults, he kind of just runs down the person. So I think it's just gonna be a kind of like a battle of who wins the early game, to which I feel like that will snowball into who dominates the late game.
Yeah, I feel like you're right about that. It's really just comes down to whoever wins that early matchup and snowball from there. So we'll have to see if that plays true in this game. We got 40 seconds left. Just going to do some test talking to see if that helped adjust some things. But it's always something new with the Streamlabs, you know. I don't know if you missed it, but we had a black screen game last week. That was pretty fun.
Oh, those were so fun during when I used to be a viewer. Just seeing but that was like the early days of when we first started streaming the games. And we got 10 seconds for the spectator delay. Do you know if they have a Vigar main or a Fiora main? I'm just looking at Tarleton's bans.
I mean, they must. Well, then again, I know Bjord does not like that Fiora champion, so it could just be trying to miss that. Ithaca is blue side and Tarleton is red side today, or for this game 1. So you'll see at this game we got the objective timers instantly.
Minions have spawned.
Ooh, and it looks like Val already is taking a lot of poke, and because of the early minion spawn, he's not going to be able to reset for that. That's going to make it a little bit hard for them to keep bush control in the bot lane, so Seraphine might be a problem to Labubu at the start if she just keeps poking him and Val is not able to help.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the Ashe Seraphine really tend to thrive, is these early levels, just being able to get the Seraphine E procced with the Ashe slow to get the root or even stun. So, I mean, Val's going to have to be really careful. We did see him, he does get caught sometimes at these early levels, but whenever he does make it out of laning phase, when he can start roaming, that's when he really tends to pop off. But right now, Olaf just taking a really aggressive play here and poking down the Alawi, forcing Bjor to back out a little bit.
Yeah, it's looking like Tarleton is losing a little bit of these level 1 trades and pokes.
I think it's more just Alawi needs to get to that level 6, get that ulti on, because even with Olaf running down, I feel like the Alawi might be able to heal enough and do enough true damage if she does land that E. But like you, I don't really see this matchup too often, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Ooh, Seraphine going in, Val running really low. He's going to have to flash and heal. Labubu, thankfully, though, full HP, so he's able to stay in lane and fight a little bit. Besides that, we do have some fighting going on mid lane. Surprisingly, Ziggs winning the matchup right now. Normally we see these Gallios absolutely annihilate these mage mids.
Yeah, I think Galio was trying to prioritize the minions at first and just allowed Gimmick to take those extra abilities on him. And got hit by a couple of Qs.
I mean, yeah, Emilio is known to have extremely low HP early on, so maybe Ithaca just trying to get that early kill. I mean, they almost did get it, but honestly, as a ADC, you don't mind that trade too much, as you're just glad you're not the one getting focused down. But we do have both junglers pathing towards bot lane. It's going to be a fight for sure to see who gets this first Scuttle Crab. As Tarleton's engaging, now Zac will be in position to gank here. So Tarleton will have to play a little safe, especially with Milio not having any sums. But they do see the Zac. Zunzao is there ready. Going to poke him down a bit. It's going to force Ithaca's bot lane to join up. Tarleton wanting the smoke here. They continue to look for more. Shalinin maybe walking up a little too far and not taking heavy poke. Galio has arrived to the fight. Labubu just caught in their front line, and looks like Ithaca will going to pick up a double kill early on here. Maybe even 3, as Seraphine flashes, misses the E, but Ashe will flash to get the kill. So they do get a bunch of summoners, but Tarleton do lose 3 from that. Shalinin just overplaying.
Yeah, not good for Tarleton. Again, they had the counter there with seeing Zac, but they just walked up to that enemy tri-bush without vision, and Galio came down and they executed that perfectly.
Yeah, good run from him. I feel like at that point, Shalinin should just take the free Scuttle Crab, you know, get what you can. But that's not what happened, as Tarleton ends up losing 3. We're going to see how they play around this first dragon. Normally, Tarleton does try to prio these. However, now that this bot lane does have a little bit of a lead, we're going to see if Tarleton just decides to farm it out or if they try to pick up another fight here. But Ashe did opt for the Cull, so even though they did pick up some kills, Jinx does have the extra damage right now. When Galio with the double buff's just going to do a lot of damage to Gimmick there. And that's what we see. The Galio going full tank, already got the Bambi Cinder, and he's hitting like a truck already. One combo doing almost half of Gimmick's HP.
Yeah, it's just, as I said, I think if Gimmick can play this really smart and just bait the Galio out and then knock him back, I think that's the only way I see him being able to keep the Galio on his toes without taking too much damage during the trades.
And Galio, oh, we see a W right there, but doesn't really do as much. That red buff on Galio just made the trade even worse, but he has now lost the double buffs. looks like top lane has kind of stabilized. Both top laners not really fighting too much anymore, just kind of staying at a good healthy HP. We do see Xin Zhao taking this dragon. Now, both junglers are level 5, so it's not exactly has much of an advantage here. We're trying to see how they play it out. They do have the Galio ult, but Ziggs is first at the dragon. Lububu first to get caught, taking some poke, but Tarleton are about to finish this drag. Gonna hover over. Zac tries to get in here. Schlitten does secure the dragon. He's gonna go on the Zac, and it's gonna force him to flash away. However, it looks like Ithaca wants more. Looks like they might just go ahead and sacrifice Schlitten here, and yeah, they do. So, 1 kill for a dragon, not the worst trade. I mean, kind of good for both teams there. We'll say, though, even though
Well, you know, not the best to dive. However, I do think and agree with you that Ocean Dragon is better.
Yeah, and even though Schlitten is 0-2 right now, he is keeping up in farm. That's always a big improvement. We have seen Tarleton's junglers kind of struggle keeping up with that CS in the past, so seeing him on par after dying is not too shabby. And it looks like most of the kills right now are on the Galio. I mean, he will be good, but he will eventually fall off, especially once Lububu gets LDR and some more anti-take items, especially with the Infinity Edge, just being able to do a lot on the Jinx. It's really going to come down to if Tarleton's able to get that 1 kill to get the Jinx passive proc to allow Lububu to pop off or not.
I do think for the late game, especially during the team fights, they will have to play front to back, just to, as you said, to get that proc off for Jinx. Just so Lububu can mow down the Olaf, Zac, and Galio.
Yeah, I feel like Ithaca, maybe if they went like a hypercarry ADC, would have been a really scary comp for Tarleton, just because with such a heavy front line they have. But right now, if Lububu does wait and he gets his Hurricane and a couple other items, he'll be able to really do a lot of damage to that front line and poke them down. But that is the name of the game most of the time with Tarleton here, is just getting Lububu some items, getting him in this game. But currently, yeah, with no kills, it's just kind of stalemating their progress. But getting that dragon does buy them some time. Looks like now they're trying to fight some grubbies here. Alawi is level 8, so she's going to be a big member of this team fight. Does miss the initial E, as Ziggs lays out all of his abilities to get some poke down. So far, Grub's going 1-1. Tarleton will be able to scare them off here with Zac with super low HP. It's going to cause Ithaca to back out. I mean, they're really worried about this Alawi in such a small area. Grouping up with 3 tanks into Alawi has to be very worrisome.
Yeah, as I said...
What are you saying, sorry?
Yeah, it's the tentacles. As we've been saying the past few games, the tentacles of Alawi just make it so hard, and it looks like Lububu gets Seraphine ulted, but the Ashe was not able to follow up.
Lububu having to use Barrier, just from all those slows, he isn't able to really run away. But Valdegran has returned back to bot lane, and Schlitten is there as well, hovering. Right now, fight's breaking out top. Will Alawi be able to survive? The heals are coming out, but it's not enough. Olaf living at 1 HP, but the tentacles do finish him off. Top lane going 1-1 there. I guess that's how that matchup goes. It's really close until one of them dies and Alawi might kill the other. So worked out there for Tarleton. Ooh, gank going on in the mid lane here. Just perma CC'd. Oh, he will be able to get away with that flash. Gimmick just barely surviving. Galio did have flash, but I guess he didn't want to really follow it up there. Right now, everyone doing a great job at CSing. Almost everyone's pretty even. I mean, Lububu does have a slight lead. However, that is slightly due to the Ashe roaming up for that dragon, just overstaying a little bit. But they did pick up a kill there. It's never too bad. And they're finishing that coal. So, 48 stacks left on that. Give him a little boost of gold. Schlitten down here hovering the bot lane once again. Trying to make sure his teammates do not get caught. But it looks like they're going to go dive in on the Ashe. Galio's ulting in. Xin Zhao hits a really good ultimate, but it's not enough as he's just in the middle of the whole team. They do get the Zac passive. I don't know if they'll be able to kill the little... Oh, and they do! Lububu gets 1 kill! I mean, trading 1 for 1. Gonna give up Schlitten's life, but a kill on Lububu is always a massive W trade for Tarleton. should allow him to scale like we talked about. He just needs to get some items. So Lububu picking up that early kill is definitely going to help accelerate that. As we now are just watching some top lane fights. At this point, it's getting fairly even. Except for Lowy just pulled the soul out. So getting winning that trade in the end. With that Galio roam, it will allow Gimmick to get some free tower plates. And just be able to see us freely for a bit. But Zac doesn't want him to go too free, as he's going to try to gank, but he's not really able to find anything. Now this dragon has spawned, so both teams are looking for it. Galio does not have ult after ganking bot lane there. Same with Ashe, so Tarleton might have a way to get in here. As all the members are starting to come around, Lububu did send out the ult so they know how low the dragon is. Zac is running out of HP. Schlitten gets there, just not in time though, as Ithaca does secure their first dragon, the Mountain Drake.
It was unfortunate that Schlitten wasn't able to roam down quick enough, because I think, as you said, Tarleton did have the ult advantage, so I think they would have won that.
Yeah, I think I just able to have that good timing. I will say though, right now, 6-2, Tarleton is only really down 500 gold, so even though Ithaca does have that kill advantage, they don't really have that gold advantage anymore, as both top and mid are starting to take some tower plates, but we will see Schlitten gank bot lane. The Seraphine ult comes out. Zac is here to follow up the gank. He now has ultimate. So does Xin Zhao, so it looks like they're just going to back out though. They want to let Lububu farm up here. He does have that first item advantage, but looks like they don't want to overpress it. Now a fight is breaking out in top lane. Alawi sending the ultimate, chasing down the Olaf. The tentacle should kill here, and yeah, Bjord finds another solo kill there. He did have that item advantage there, having that frozen gauntlet definitely helped secure him the kill. But Olaf just didn't really have anything. They both saved their flashes, not wanting to trade 1-1 for it. Good solo kill by Bjord.
Gimmick was not able to get his pack off, and again, it's just that trade there. He just has to get that pack off so he's not taking the extra damage. But they do have vision on Zac, so Gimmick will back off, and they see Zac is heading towards bot.
Now Tarleton have their own slight gold lead from that kill in top lane. They're just going to continue to look to push, and Zac does try to look for something bot lane, but Tarleton has been playing pretty safe, so he won't be able to find anything. And right now, Schlitten is looking to invade this jungle, going to steal that blue buff.
Right now, I'm loving the vision that Tarleton has right now. Just the vision from in their jungler, so they can see when Galio or Zac's gonna go mid or roam bot. Hopefully they can keep that up to keep the Zac off of them bot lane.
Ooh, a fight is breaking out of bot lane. Looks like both teams are going to go full in here. Oh, Lububu flashing forward, but he does end up falling. The Kraken Slayer on the Ashe just helps pump out that extra damage. Lububu not having really any mana and staying, not being able to reset just yet. Did put him behind. Val was able to ult the Ashe ult, but Seraphine just ulted right after, making Lububu not be able to play the game.
And I think that is what Ithaca is going to go for. They're going to use the Ashe ult, they're going to try and get the Melia ult, and then they're going to use the other one.
Bjord getting ganked. He's going for that 1v2. Will they be able to CC him long enough? He gets the healing. He's still alive. He takes that one. He's looking for another. Bjord with a 1v2, killing both the Olaf and Zac. Zac used Flash and Olaf used Ghost, but Bjord just 1v2s him. In the meantime, Gimmick does fall mid lane to Seraphine roam right there. But man, Bjord showing us that Lowy does win these fights.
It's the tentacles, and Olaf immediately getting Executioner's Calling after that one. He has learned his lesson.
Yeah, still not even having one item. He rushed those plated steel caps, and like you said, getting that Executioner's Calling. Yeah, they're really trying to prevent this Lowy from healing and doing as much damage as possible, but it's not enough. Maybe if Olaf took Ignite in this matchup, would have been more beneficial. So far, that Ghost is just not really doing much for him.
Yeah,
I mean-
usually an Olaf with a Ghost, you're gonna want to like chase down the target, but Yort's like, no, come at me, I'm right here. So that Ghost is not doing anything for Olaf.
I mean, he is probably just playing for those late game team fights, looking to Ghost down Labubu. But we're gonna see if he does end up not really be able to get much early game. It's gonna make the Olaf very weak and not really much of a threat. Well, I forgot to mention, but yeah, Bjord did get that top tower, so Tarleton now having some extra gold in their pocket. Zach is going to look for another mid gank here. Ooh, oh, Gimmick was able to hit a W, but that Zach pull back was enough to... Oh, I guess not enough at all. Gimmick does live. He has the teleport, so he should be able to make it to this dragon. Right now, it looks like both teams have fairly even ultimates here. Galio does have an ult this time, so it's going to be a little scary for Tarleton to start it, as Zach can just jump into the back line and Galio follow up. So I'm going to see how they play this fight. Okay, 2 TPs coming out from both top laners. Bjord is in that behind them, though, so he's going to look to peel them out. Olaf running in on Labubu. However, looks like he's a little too deep. None of his teammates are there to follow up. Big fights coming down. Labubu forced to run away. Tarleton lose 3 of their members. 4 now. It's just Bjord. Can he 1v5 this? Looks like he's just going to walk away. Olaf, they're able to keep his ult activated all the way until the end, killing Labubu with it. Ithaca just able to find a really good team fight. Just able to stack their ultimates and push Tarleton back without having to use too much.
I think Ithaca, they're leaning heavily on just the CC, especially with the Seraphine ult, so they're just going to have to keep watch of Seraphine and make sure that they're not lining themselves up to get multi-hit with that Seraphine ult.
Okay, looks like Seraphine is getting picked down right now. 1 HP, she does dodge the Jinx W, allowing her to live. Yeah, I feel like Bjord had a really good angle right there. He just needed a couple more seconds, but Ithaca jumped the gun and just able to find a great engage like you talking about. Olaf going in a little bit early, but that Seraphine ult just being able to travel across the entire map after it hits her allies, extending it, really helped turn the tides. I mean, they almost shut down the Zac or the Olaf, and that would have been enough for the Jinx passive, but they just stayed alive. Right now, I do like this rotation they have, facing the Alawi into Galio and putting Gimmick against the Olaf. I feel like he has a much better time surviving this matchup, and at the same time, Bjord having a wonderful time going into another tank matchup. Gimmick's just able to farm a lot safer, poking down the Olaf. Zac is coming down for another bot gank, it looks like. But of course, with Bjord being as strong as he is right now, Ithaca can't really send anyone side lane to eat him. As that'll allow Tarleton to pick up another tower. And the rest of Tarleton are just farming up right now. Again, everyone's relatively similar CS except for now top lane. Bjord having a pretty sizable lead. It was partly due to Gimmick being able to deny some waves there. Ooh, Valdegrand overstepping. But he should be able to walk away just fine.
And I know we weren't able to see, but Gimmick was able to dodge that Ashe ult there, but he gets caught out by the Olaf. Is he going to be able... No, he will not be able to run. Not with the Ghost.
Yeah, with that Ghost, he's able to chase him down. I mean, that's the one thing, Gimmick not being able to poke him down just if Olaf can get to him like that with that Blast Cone. Gimmick doesn't really have a way to get out of it, like Bjord does. Right now, it looks like Tarleton are really just trying to get this Infinity Edge on the Boo-Boo. He's getting quite close. He has all the components, looking to finish it off. He should have it by this next dragon. It's going to make for a pretty interesting fight. Ashe does already have her second item. Looks like Tarleton are going to swap their top and mid once again, putting Gimmick back down in bot lane and going to let Bjord push top lane. He does have that teleport coming up, so probably just looking for maybe some tier 2 damage before the dragon. Can always come down. He is level 16 now, having that 2-level lead on the Olaf. And if he does come to this fight, he will have a 5-level lead against Ashe. So as an ADC player, you know, a level 16 Alawi running after you is always very frightening.
Yeah, but if Tarleton has another, kind of what happened last Dragon, they let Ithaca kind of engage on them without Bjord being able to catch up. There's nothing Bjord will be able to do, because Bjord can't. He won't be able to 1v5.
You're absolutely right. Right now, though, the gold lead just only 1k, so nothing too crazy. We're going to see how both teams position here. That's what's really going to come down to. Olaf might have flash by this dragon spawn. That's going to be really good for him as he will be able to get to the back line, but Lububu also has flash as well, and he's been playing pretty far back in these fights. I feel like he's doing a great job about that, not being the one to get engaged on. We're going to see how it plays out. Dragon spawning in 20 seconds, but right now, Tarleton looking for a fight. Alawi just going in. They kind of have Olaf in the pit. They just are careful about being poked down. They're going to get some poke down on the Olaf from the spirit grab.
Ithaca had full vision control there, but Bjord just walked up and they all ran away.
What can you do against the level 16 Alawi? It's very scary stuff. Tarleton's going to start the dragon with the Alawi. They want them to play into these tentacles. This time, Bjord with his team, so he will be that front line Tarleton needs. The ult comes out. It's going to go on Lububu. Seraphine ult following up. Lububu is getting caught. Not looking good for Tarleton. The fight continues. We have kind of two fights going on right now. Olaf still alive. He does fall. I will say, even though Tarleton do lose 3 members for only 1 of Ithaca's, they do pick up the dragon. So, although the kills didn't go exactly how they wanted to, they got the objective. But with the missing members... Oh, go ahead.
Apologies. I think that fight, Val needed to use his Melio a little bit sooner. That way Lububu could react a lot faster with his flash there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just not being able to move for so long, and then followed up with that Seraphine ultimate. Either someone had to tank that Ashe ultimate for Lububu, or, like you said, Val just needed to ult him a little sooner. With those missing members on Tarleton's part, Ithaca will be able to secure this Baron buff. So they are able to trade 1 objective over for each, and they did get those 3 kills. If Tarleton's able to turtle out this Baron buff and not lose too much, and they'll be alright, but Ithaca definitely going to look to try and get some pushing in, get these towers down. They still haven't claimed a single tier 1 tower, so with all those tower plays, they want to cash out on those right now, just extend this gold lead before this dragon fight. So we're going to have to see if a fight breaks out, or if they kind of just end up slow pushing it. Now Jinx having that good wave clear. Ithaca sending 3 members. Almost looks like Zach's going to join him. So 4 members mid doing a 4-1 push. Galio is a great side laner, as he can always just walk up into river and ult in to join a fight. So Ithaca not too worried about having the number disadvantage. Bjord does have teleport, so he can join, but that is definitely slower than the Galio ultimate. However, it looks like he's just going to walk up, give up bot tower to look for some sort of engage here. But this is just going to allow Galio to get some plates for himself. With this Baron buff, he should be able to get this tier 1 tower. It looks like Tarleton's fine with that. Backing up, just going to give it, play for these tier 2s. Ashe ult does get sent, but doesn't hit any target.
I know I harp on it every game, it's just the vision. Ithaca was able to see the Bjord coming through river, and they were just being able to easily back off. Galio wasn't worried, so he just kept pushing for that tower.
I mean, yeah, vision is the name of the game. Just knowing where people are, especially at this point where one flank from Bjord can kind of spell doom for Ithaca. They definitely have to look out for it. Right now, it looks like this Baron push isn't getting too much. We might see something on this wave. Lububu doesn't really have any mana now, so he won't be able to use the rockets for much longer. It looks like Ithaca isn't really trying to look for too much damage on this tower. Maybe just trying to cash out on this tier 1 and bot lane before their Baron buff runs out. As, I mean, they do have that gold lead now. Have been winning the past few team fights, not too worried about it. It looks like their Baron buff will be running out very shortly, so probably won't see any more pushes happen. Next fight going to happen in 1 minute and 20 seconds at this dragon. It's going to be soul point for either team. Labubu looks like he's trying to get his Hurricane right now. Not enough gold. He has to be close. He can sell that Doran's Blade. So we're going to see if he's able to get that. He doesn't have much time, though. Maybe one more back within the next 20 seconds. If he doesn't have gold this wave, then he won't have it for the dragon fight.
Ithaca also let the Seraphine get the blue buff for this dragon fight as well, as they go ahead and attempt to take vision control of Tarleton's bot side.
40 seconds remaining. Both teams trying to establish that vision dominance. Bjord just walking up again, not having to really worry about these bushes. Oh, the Ash ult will find Lububu mid lane. Olaf's gonna just ghost and run him down. Before the Ash ult even ends, Lububu will fall. Tarleton might just have to give this dragon unless Bjord's able to find a play. But without their ADC, it's going to make it really tough. Looks like Tarleton's positioning to give up the dragon here. Just push out these lanes instead. Lububu has finished his Hurricane.
Apologies. I'm surprised that they don't have someone like always babysitting Labubu for protection from that Ash ult.
Yeah, he almost had flash up, so maybe he was just risking it, but Ithaca was able to find that Ash ult. Ooh, it looks like the Seraphine ult will miss, though. I mean, a good cross-map ulti. She was pretty far behind, just predicting Labubu's movements there. Yeah, Valdegrand really has to play with them on these mid waves. I know Lububu was just one wave off of that Hurricane, so that's why he greeted for that wave. But yeah, getting caught like that just made it so Tarleton couldn't really contest at all. I mean, still a very close game here, only a 3k gold difference. And it looks like both teams might just farm it up until this next dragon spawn. Ithaca making sure they have plenty of anti-heal. Zac, Olaf, and Ashe all bought some. Just trying to focus Bjord, stop him from really doing much in these team fights.
Yeah, I think Ithaca has figured it out. They only have to worry about Bjord, as Lububu is just not getting the protection from Tarleton as the AD carry, so they're not worried about him anymore.
Yeah, so far it feels like this Ziggs pick isn't really able to do much damage. Tarleton's having a big issue trying to get one kill for the Jinx passive. Either they get engaged on too early and they can't really do much in the fight, or they just can't take out that one member. Lububu really needing this LDR in order to damage these tanky players Ithaca has. Looks like they will find the top tier 1, but Tarleton will be pushing mid lane. Just Lububu right now, though. This Ash ult is coming in. We're going to see if it hits. And it does. This Galio just going in, looking to try and one-shot Lububu. However, Valdegrand came in time to stop him from dying. Right now, having that 4-level lead, the Galio versus the Jinx. Just all that base damage from those level-ups alone. And Galio, he did kind of go a little bit of hybrid build. He has the Riftmaker and the Zonias, so he does have some AP. But looks like no fights are breaking out quite just yet. Both teams just wanting to look to farm up for this next dragon fight. Try to get as many last items as they can. Right now, Tarleton, they do have more towers destroyed this game with 3 extra. That's definitely helping them stay, you know, similar with that gold difference. Down 11 kills, but with those 3 extra tier 2s, it's helping balance out the scales here.
Yeah, Tarleton is doing much better with CSing. It looks like only Gimmick is down by 30, but the rest of Tarleton is doing great on CSing above their counters.
Ooh, the Ashold gets sent, but Lububu's back is able to reset in time. He does have a Last Whisper, so he will have a little bit of armor pen for this dragon fight. We're going to see if Tarleton will be able to do some poke before the fight begins. They do have the Alawi E and the Ziggs. Even the Jinx W. I feel like they kind of need to do some chunk damage before the main fight happens. But this Olaf will have Ghost and Flash. Same with Zac having Flash and Galio. So a lot of these engaged tools that Ithaca has is going to make it really hard for Tarleton's backline to back out and stay far enough away, while at the same time trying to contribute in the fight. We've seen it happen before. If the Ashold comes out, then it's going to be followed up with the Seraphine. It's going to be followed up with the Zac. Just non-stop CC. You might be able to cleanse one, but you won't be able to cleanse all of them. So it's kind of, you got to pick and choose your battles and who you want to save here. Ithaca trying to get some vision. Well, the Ashold gets sent, but it won't hit anyone. However, she should have it back up. It's just she has that Fiendish Hunter. I believe that's what it's called. Looks like Labubu and Val are trying to push mid lane. Maybe meet up with Bjord here, as he is taking this inhibitor tower. 20 seconds left on this dragon spawn. Tarleton has split themselves here. It looks like they're going to trade 2 inhibitor towers for giving up this dragon position. But if they do get these 2 inhibs, yeah, it's going to force Ithaca to back here. Not wanting to lose too much more. Galio does base. Ooh, Schlitten goes in, and he's going to flash away, able to dodge the Seraphine ult. Tarleton are actually playing this 2v3 quite well, stopping Ithaca's backs. At the same time, claiming 2 inhibitors. They're going to look for Dragon now as Bjord teleports in. Schlitten going in on the Seraphine. 1v2ing right now. Zac having to flash to defend his teammates. If Schlitten's able to stay alive here, it will be massive, but no, Ash will be able to find him. However, Zac will be able to the next one to fall. Gimmick still alive on 1 HP. Oh, Bjord just shredding them down. As it looks like Tarleton's bot lane got 1v2'd by the Olaf. So far, it's a 2v3. Everyone starting to run low on HP. Gimmick does have teleport to get back in here. Both teams not having smite. It's going to come down to who can get this last hit on the dragon. Gimmick is teleporting in. He probably has the best burst chance, as Bjord has started the fight. Oh, but Galio is the one able to secure the dragon. However, it looks like it might be a bloodbath here, as Bjord just claims all these shutdowns. Galio will flash away. But once they got that Chemtic dragon, Ithaca happy with the results, even if they did lose a lot of shutdowns. But maybe Tarleton might be able to play Baron buff here. They did get the 2 inhibitors and those inhib towers, and the minions are enough to take down one of the towers, so yeah, Tarleton's going to look for a Baron here.
And that was almost so good for Tarleton, which Schlitten being in the tri-bush, and it was seeming like it was going to be a Tarleton win, but again, it's just a slow engage on Tarleton from, like, I believe it was Gimmick that was running down to help Schlitten, and it was just too late, and then again, Labubu and Val just getting, not being able to outplay the Olaf and getting down for the double.
Yeah, we didn't see what happened there, but if Tarleton could have killed the Olaf, they definitely could have looked to maybe even end the game while the rest of Ithaca was at Dragon. But since they did get 1v2'd, it stopped their push right there. I mean, Tarleton, they are now 2k up, so that play definitely helped them out. Bjord is just a monster right now. He's just standing in front of all of Ithaca. He still has the ultimate, just running down this Zac. However, he will get away. surviving with that Seraphine heal. But Tarleton, they're on the offensive here. With that Baron buff, they're going to look to take out this last inhibitor tower. Alawi starting to fall down. The Sterix Gauge does get procced. Ithaca just playing defensive. They will lose this inhibitor. Bubu trying to look for some damage since he does have that passive, but they're going to have to back out in the end. I mean, now that the last dragon has been claimed, it's going to bring it up probably to an Elder fight. Right now, Tarleton they do have the advantage with the bases here. Still having all their tier 2 towers up, while Ithaca has lost all their inhibitors. One bad fight for Ithaca will, or should, be their end. But so far, they've been playing these team fights really well. Haven't really lost one just yet. I guess they lost the one at Dragon, but they did get the souls, so definitely not a hard loss.
Olaf doesn't have Ghost, so this might be Tarleton's push. But Olaf does have his Guardian Angel up.
That's going to make it really hard for Labubu to get his passive off. Zig's getting engaged on. Looks like they're just going to let him fall, as they don't want to use the Milio ulti. Oh, I guess Millie didn't have ult, so yeah, Gimmick just gets caught there. Ooh, Bjord now getting engaged on by the Zac. Tarleton, they have a lot of super minions here, but so far, Ithaca's doing a great job about holding them back. But with this next wave here, Bjord's going in, starting to do a lot of damage. Let me put this down, see all the action. Ashe flashes in on Labubu. However, this flash might have been a little too much, but they do take out Labubu, so they do for the 1-for-1 trade. It's going to be up to Bjord to carry yet another fight. He sends out the ultimate. Ithaca's just going to run away now that Bjord ulted. Looks like it should just be the end of the play. Their tower did respawn. Tarleton losing another fight, 3-for-1. Yeah, it feels like everything's going to come down in these next 2 minutes at this Elder Dragon fight. Both teams evenly matched in gold. Ashe will not have Flash, while Labubu will have his. That might be the difference Tarleton needs.
I'm surprised that Ithaca used both Ashe and Seraphine all on Gimmick there. I really thought they were going to be saving those for Bjord to take him out, or Labubu.
And then they just try to get the kill that they know they can get. It looks like it... I mean, semi worked out for them in the end, trading 1 for 3. Ashe now also having GA. Going to give Ithaca 2 extra lives here. Right now, we haven't seen any crazy plays from Labubu just yet. However, he does have those items. He has the 100% crit now. He has the LDR with the Hurricane. So he'll definitely be hurting this next fight unless he gets engaged on. Yeah, I've seen it happen a few times. Zac has to use his Flash before the Dragon. That's definitely going to help Tarleton here. Zac without having Flash, Olaf no Ghost, and Ashe not having Flash. Maybe they'll give Labubu some wiggle room to try and kite around these fights. He will get stunned by Seraphine. He's just looking for some poke damage. They do see some of their members mid lane defeating those minion waves. Tarleton's they don't have any wards, so they can't really do a base race. The Ashe will send the ultimate, and it does miss. 30 seconds remaining. However, it looks like Ashe's ult is already a quarter of the way back up. These cooldowns now with full build, having all that ability haste. Ooh, Seraphine sends the ultimate. It's going to find on Schlitten. Zac now engaging, but he does get hit by the Jinx traps. A big fight breaking out, but Bjord is just in the center of it, and that's going to allow Tarleton to continue on a rampage. They're going to take down the Zac. Bjord continuing to fight up here. He is alone. They do kill the Zac. They're going to look for more. As Labubu gets flashed in by the Olaf, he flashes away trying to live. They have to kill this Olaf before he kills Labubu here, but they aren't able to. Tarleton losing all their members now. Olaf able to save the day for Ithaca as they continue to get picked down, leaving Valdegrand to be the last one. This might be enough for Ithaca to end on. 40 seconds before Labubu is up.
Tarleton, well, never mind. Ithaca has made Seraphine go back and clear the 4 super minions. But
Just
will
have
she
enough
be able to
AoE
do it?
damage. We can go check real quick, see how it's looking over there. Yeah, it looks like things should be fine. But we're gonna come back up here. 15 seconds, will these towers stand? It looks like not, as Ithaca is just shredding them down. 10 seconds on Labubu's timer. But he won't be able to respawn in time. Ithaca take game 1 in a really intense series so far. I mean, Ithaca winning majority of these team fights, but with a lot of these AoE teamfight champions out, we're going to see how this draft 2 plays out. Hopefully we'll be able to get a draft soon, but for now, yeah, Tarleton go 0-1 in game 1, but we'll let you guys know whenever game 2 starts. Here's the little screen afterwards, kind of see how everyone did. Looks like this Galio definitely was a major player here. I know Ash is fed, but their tank having 17k gold here. I mean, compared to Gimmick, 4k difference. So it was really there. But I mean, Bjord did a great job. 20k, had the most gold in the game, but ultimately Ithaca having the better teamfight comp, able to win game 1. We'll be right back, guys. We'll see you in a second. Welcome back, guys. We have already started Draft 2. Love when there's just a very short break in between. Get straight back into the action as Tarleton, they banned the Caitlyn Thresh, while Ithaca go ahead and ban the Corky, Victor, and Mel. Definitely looking towards limiting Gimmicks champ pool as well as Labubu's. And Tarleton will finish that off with Orin ban. Looks like
it's looking like the exact same bands from last game.
Yeah, and Ithaca's blue side once again, so that means Tarleton did pick red. Rumble will be first picked. He is a pretty safe top laner. We have seen it in the past. Bjord has played against a few of them. So we're going to see if he picks now or he waits to. I mean, this might be a Rumble jungle. You never know. They can go crazy with it.
It looks like Tarleton's going to pick the Veigar this game instead of ban it. Maybe they want to free up a ban for another champion.
Yeah, we have seen Labubu these past few weeks do this Veigar APC strategy, normally paired with a Poppy or something that can help in bot lane with a cage, and that's most likely a Gimmick Nasus. I mean, this is a pretty familiar comp that we have seen before quite a few times, and it's normally turned out really good for Tarleton, as that Wither is just able to really put an end to anyone that's fed on the enemy team, and the Vigar cage is just able to match it with some CC and just that one-shot damage. Ithaca will continue with having a tank jungler, as they now have picked the Skarner and the Bard support. Ooh, looks like Bjord's going to match the Rumble with a Darius pick. Now, this could be a sleeper agent pick. It might be a Rumble support. I mean, it hasn't really been meta in a while. However, it has been played before. You never know if someone has a little secret pick they like to play. Tarleton are going to ban out the Swain, probably just trying to keep it open for Gimmick in a future game here, as they don't want Ithaca to steal any of their champions.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ithaca instead goes for a AD carry that likes to be alone, such as Ezreal, just to allow that Bard to roam and cause mayhem for Tarleton.
And the Ezreal pick would be really strong here, as he can always get out of that cage scot-free, just being able to E away, as well as just being able to kite the Nasus and Darius. But Tarleton will ban the Sivir. I mean, another good ADC pick into that comp with that spell shield being able to survive. And we're going to see Schlitten's Teemo jungle. Gotta make sure it is. Yeah, they have kept the same roster. Schlitten on that Teemo jungle. I mean, so far he has a pretty good win rate on it. It is his favorite champion. It is a little... I mean, that might just be due, it's hard for people to play into it as you never see it. So it's really, hard to decide what this team was going to do, where he's going to be. Ithaca, they're going to match it with the Cassiopeia. That's going to be their pick into Nasus. I mean, surely it'd make it really hard for him to farm. Cassiopeia just able to, if she hits 1Q, run the Nasus down with E. Ithaca are going to look to scale and pick the Smolder. I mean, after having such a long game one, playing champions... Oh, never mind. They do pick the Lucian. And it looks like we are going to see the Janna. Possibly something else. Yeah, Valdegrand picking up the Janna. Looking to peel for Labubu, send back the Skarner, or maybe if they get Bard Ultimate, just be able to R away the enemies when they try to collapse on it. That will conclude Draft 2. It's going to be pretty interesting here. I mean, there isn't really much synergy with the Vigar cage that we have seen in the past. But of course, you don't necessarily need that. Vigar just looks to farm and scale up. However, maybe Lucian Bard will be able to stop him, especially if this Bard looks to get Electrocute, and Lucian, I don't know, I guess like PTA or First Strike maybe, looking to do some early poke damage. But that will be it of Draft. We're going to get into the League client. Go ahead.
I do like the Janna pick, only because Janna is one of the faster Enchanter supports, so she might be able to match Bard Roam much better than other champions would, as long as they keep vision on Bard and Val is able to respond. Because I don't know if Labubu and Val will be able to catch the Lucian if Lucian decides to play, keep his dash for a more defensive instead of being the usual Lucian aggressive with it. But it just depends on how the Bard wants to play. Like you said, if Bard wants to go Electrocute, they're probably going to be super aggro bot against the Veigar Janna. But if Bard decides to roam, then the Lucian might play back a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like that's a great point. And looking at these roams are going to be really important. Like that, you're talking about vision is going to be really vital this game, especially with how much the Zac ganked mid lane last time. Gimmick constantly having to run away. This time, it's now a Skarner Bard. Both have a lot of CC with the Cassiopeia into a melee matchup. Nasus won't have that W like Ziggs does to escape. Now, he does normally take Ghosts. That might be able to help him, but I mean, if he gets CC'd to death, Cassiopeia would just be able to spam the E onto him, and he won't be able to do much, especially if she gets a early Rylai's Crystal Scepter. That'll just make it infinitely harder to play. Then again, with this comp, we normally see Tarleton just farm up. They do get some early drags, but whenever these Team Mushrooms come online, they're almost extra wards for themselves. It's going to force Ithaca to get a lot of sweepers. So maybe that would help limit their vision a little bit. But Bard is known to, base repeatedly and have high movement speed, just like the Janna, and he's able to reset his wards plenty. And he's able to get some little sneaky ones too, some deep wards, as he always has that magical journey, I believe it's called, to get out if things get a little dangerous.
I'm just looking at these picks. I know that I chose Tarleton last game, but I really like what Ithaca drafted. I like the Cassiopeia, and then the Rumble ult with the Skarner ult, and then Lucian can ult and kind of sit more back. And then the Bard can always just ult whoever gets focused by Darius or Nasus or Vhagar caged.
I think you're right. Ithaca, they do definitely have an easier comp to play. They have a lot more synergy, a lot of different ways to play off of their teammates. But Tarleton is mainly just down to this Nasus Wither or Vhagar cage to really find a lot of them and let this Darius find a rampage or something. But like I said, we have seen this comp work out a lot for Tarleton in the past. They're able just to get this Vhagar ahead early, and at that point, he's just able to one-shot any threat. And having these two AD picks makes it hard for the enemy team to really just focus MR, as they do have to be aware of, Darius and Nasus, both heavy AD champions. Darius, he does have that true damage, so he is kind of their tank killer. So Skarner, that should be his only really true threat, unless Nasus does get ahead. We have seen it happen quite a few times. Gimmick is able to find a lot of cheeky 1v2s, survive ganks, and get ahead that way. So we're going to see how this ends up playing out. But so far, in Game 1, Ithaca has shown that they have great team fight potential, that they are able to play off each other, and they're able to play these dragon fights. But at the same time, Tarleton has shown a little bit of a better macro gameplay, as they did take out all their towers, and they were able to keep all their tier 2s up until just the very end push. But, team fights are what typically decide these games if you don't have a split pusher. In this game, Tarleton, they're going straight for that. Unless Bjord can maybe get ahead again on this Darius pick. You got to look out on these early first 4 levels as Darius is trying to deny minions and fight the enemy top laner as much as they can and look for first blood.
And I wonder if later game, if they'll have Gimmick start split pushing instead, kind of trade off instead of the typical top lane Darius split pushing. The Bjord will stay with the team while Nasus split push, or that way Nasus can get some stacks in the mid game.
Yeah, I feel like in the past we normally see it where if Nasus gets ahead, he'll just end up grouping with his team as nothing can stop him. But if he does get behind, then he does normally go to the side lane and just try to find any victories there. Ooh, looks like Labubu did go for the first strike this game, so he is looking to do one combo to get one kill in these later fights. This is going to get all of our timers set up. See these items. Last time, Ithaca were able to find some good early trades in bot lane. Let's see if they're able to do it again. As Bard is able to dodge the Vhagar Q. Now Val the Grand, half HP once again. Just almost the exact same way as Game 1. Yeah, I do like to mention the Bard did go Electrocute, and Lucian did get that first strike, so kind of as predicted. They are looking to just go for this burst one-shot early on to trade them down. Janna forced to flash and heal already as the Bard Ignite comes out with that Electrocute proc. It's going to look very scary for Val.
Yeah, with Bard having that Electrocute and the Ignite, I think Tarleton should have played a lot more safe than... I think they should have just let them push up the first wave and then kind of fight in their little under the tower area.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bard having plenty of mana and HP, he's just going to be able to continue to look for these little mini trades that are happening. But again, this game, both junglers are pathing top down. We did see many times last game how both junglers will just sit bot and try to defend against either gank. But what made a big difference last game is the mid laner of Ithaca roamed quite a bit early on. Now, they were on Galio, so it was a lot easier to roam. So we may not see as many on this Cassiopeia, but those roams did help them early on, find some early kills, and get them that lead that really helped lead them to these winning team fights. See some fight going on top lane. Darius is proccing the ghost, so he's looking for a serious trade here, but Rumble able to outplay him. He does have the Ignite here too, so Bijor is going to have to be a little bit careful. Right now, Ithaca's bot lane getting that vision advantage. They know the Skarner's going to be there. Might just have to give Scuttle Crab here. Rumble putting out plenty of damage. Gonna force Bijord to play under tower. Yeah, Tarleton does give that bot scuttle, not wanting to lose any early kills like last game. Ooh, Gimmick already getting ganked. He does proc the ghost, and he's gonna be able to get out. So far, he's been playing this lane pretty good, even though it's melee into range. He's been keeping his HP up. Oh, Val having no flash. Gonna make this fight scary as he's trying to get out, but Lucian can always follow up here. The shield coming out. Oh, and Val's gonna be able to get out. Lucian not wanting to use flash, even though it would have been a free kill, just maybe worried about Schlitten ganking soon. Oh, but right now, we have two fights breaking out in both solo lanes. Darius gets the hook under tower, but Rumble will flash away. Gimmick was looking mid lane. Okay, now Bijord's gonna have to flash away top lane. Afraid of that Ignite. A lot of close fights, but no kills just yet. Junglers were able to trade 1-for-1 on the Scuttle Crabs. No one double scuttled this game. And Rumble's gonna go for the early Swifties. Possibly just looking to get away from this Darius, not be affected by that W as much. Right now, Val getting some deep vision here. They will see the Skarner roaming down. Looks like he is also looking for a mid-roam here. Besides that, just some trades going on top lane. Is a 2v3 currently. Bard is still bot lane. He hasn't really roamed quite much yet. I mean, it's still early on, only level 4. Ooh, Rumble trying to look for a solo kill. But Bijord has enough HP that the Rumble doesn't want to commit the ultimate just yet. Right now, everyone's just farming. We might see a dive happen top lane. Rumble does send the ultimate, but it misses. As Bijord gets some healing off. Rumble does not have flash, but he does get the first blood, but he does trade right away. But the rest of Ithaca's team is looking to claim this first dragon. As Tarleton is not positioned for it, so they are just going to give it. Looking to scale before they do take on any of these fights. Lucian, once again, taking Cole. Looking to farm up himself. As Skarner's looking for a potential gank. The Bard portal does come out. The Skarner will flash. But Val does have his flash up once again, so he's able to get out of there without dying. Pretty well-placed cage by Labubu there. He's able to stun the Bard, and even though the Skarner does flash E onto Val, he does end up running into the cage, so Val is able to flash out in time. Nasus surviving in this mid lane right now. He does take some major poke there, but for the most part, he's been, keeping up in CS. Schlitten just looking to clear some camps. He now has his level 6, so he is shrooming, able to put him at the entrances of the jungle. Cassiopeia does have the tier now, so she won't have as many mana issues. She'll still have some, but definitely reduced. Allowing her to stay in lane much longer. Bjord sitting in that top bush, maybe looking for a pick on Rumble. Rumble is playing it quite safe, though. Lucian's going to ult the bot wave, just trying to push it out so he can reset. Yeah, we do see a fight happen, but Rumble is on that winning side, just taking almost 0 damage while Darius just gets knocked down to a quarter of his HP. Rumble does send the ultimate and the ignite. It's going to be enough as Rumble gets a solo kill under tower, and he's just going to be able to walk away. This should allow Ithaca to get all 3 grubbies here. This gimmick is going to get collapsed on mid lane. Rumble doesn't have really anything to follow up, though. Just kind of showing to show face. Looks like Skarner is planning to dive gimmick here. He does have the ultimate. It's going to be up to whether Ithaca can kill him in time or not. It looks like they are just going to cancel the play. Don't want to do anything too risky. Just go for these grubbies instead. As Bard is roaming up as well. Tarleton, they're not positioned to do anything about this, so Skarner will just be able to claim those. Lucian not taking any damage while his support's gone. Again, not risking anything. Rumble able to land all these E's. Bjord now in big trouble as Rumble will just be able to run him down. Quite opposite of last game. Bjord struggling in this top lane matchup. Ooh, Tarleton are sending everyone to gank this Cassiopeia. She flashes and Ghost, but the Janna ult sends her right back as Gimmick is going to get the Cane down, giving an extra 12 stacks. However, Labubu is now in trouble as he's just slowed to oblivion. He sends out the ults. Bard looking to finish him off, but he will be able to make it out with his life intact. I mean, so far the solution is just holding on to his flash, not trying to get any of these kills. Janna NATO misses. Good gank and good usage of Val's knockback on his ultimate there. In that mid lane gank, so Tarleton was able to pick up a kill. And Labubu was able to survive that fight. Dragon is spawning in 40 seconds, most likely why the bot lane did not want to use their flashes, saving it for the objectives. A lot smarter in the end instead of just one kill. While Tarleton's bot lane won't have any flashes, so you have to be really careful of this Skarner engage or something. As they do have plenty of vision, so they will see them invading the jungle here. They have the Scuttle Crab, they have a bunch of wards and shrooms. As Bjord is roaming down, just giving up his lane to help secure his team this dragon. As they might be able to collapse on Cassiopeia or Skarner here. Teemo Shroom did hit a few. Darius going in, he finds the Cassiopeia. She has ult though, so Tarleton can't fully engage on it. Gimmick getting chunked down, but Bjord just going for this Cassiopeia. Oh, does his ult kill? No, Cassiopeia stays alive. She dies on the last tick of the bleed. Lucian sending out the ultimate on Gimmick, but the Janna Tornado does stop. Rumble has arrived. He's chasing down Schlitten. Schlitten won't be able to escape. It's now up. Skarner gets taken out though by Labubu. Both junglers have fallen. Nasus looking for more. The Vigar cage comes out. He finds another. Val got the kill though. It's up to Nasus and Labubu to find these last remaining members. This Wither, it makes it so hard for Ithaca to play. The Janna ult comes out. Another plus 12 stacks. He gets his mana back from that kill. Tarleton are able to kill this Rumble here. Val ends up getting 2 of those kills, so not the best for Tarleton, but I mean, hey, in the end, they do find the winning team fight. They get more kills there. It ends up the Bjord Roam helped Tarleton a lot as they're able to take on the Cassiopeia before she could ult anyone. It's like Janna and Bard are fighting each other. The Bard damage is coming out, but Schlitten is there to defend Val. Ooh, we're going to see a really good cage there. That's going to force Bard to flash out of it. Tarleton now looking to do this dragon. Labubu has teleport to follow up. This dragon is still alive here, as both teams, they do want it, so they keep trying to position for it. However, at the same time, they don't want to throw it, so they're playing it very slow. But Bard is chunked down to half HP right now. That might give Tarleton the slight advantage to start this dragon. Yeah, as they are taking it down to 2k HP. We're going to see if Skarner is able to steal it. But nope, Schlitten does get the dragon. So nothing too crazy happened there. The Vigar cage comes out, does a lot of damage onto Lucian, and Val, is not able to finish the kill. Bard, we're starting to see Labubu's damage come online with that Luden's Echo. He's able to burst down Ithaca's bot lane. Right now, Tarleton have the shutdowns this game. Only one suffering is Bjord in that top lane, but he was able to have impact from his last roam. At this point, he's just going to try to survive, let the rest of his team carry here. As Skarner is looking to gank bot lane, but another good cage by Labubu into Val's ultimate. Skarner does the flash ult, but Labubu has his flash to react. So far, a lot of these Skarner ganks just not working out. Gimmick, in the meantime, has found his way top lane. Both are using Ghost to chase down Rumble with this Wither out. Oh, it's not enough. The Rumble ults, it slowed them down, making their Ghost just useless. Schlitten might die mid lane here. A little bit of a questionable play as he just kind of walks into Cassiopeia's face. Oh, will Rumble be able to kill the Darius here? And he does. After getting ganked, getting both of their ghosts, he's able to come back and get a solo kill. So far, this Rumble has been playing a really good game. He knows his champion limits real well. He's hitting those skill shots. Just slowly poking down Bjord until he can rock up and take him out. In the meantime, though, Gimmick is playing mid lane great. I thought he'd be struggling a lot more in this mid matchup, but he's even in farm, and he is 2-0-2. And his Wither so far has been really beneficial in these teamfights, allowing the Vigar cage to land. We do see Cassiopeia roaming down bot lane, possibly looking to do a little bit of a lane swap. Tarleton are just going to give this Herald, as this Rumble right now is just too strong to mess with. He has that 2-level lead and an item and a half. Gimmick now going against the Lucian. Let's see how this plays out. These lane swaps pretty early on, a lot earlier than last game. As Schlitten just proceeds to put out more and more shrooms defending his bot lane. It looks like Ithaca's bot lane are now trying to look for some poke damage on Gimmick. Not too much comes out. I feel like if Schlitten maybe looks for a mid gank here more than anything, I feel like Gimmick has that damage to kill Lucian. Ithaca, they are distracted in the spot lane. They're sending 3 members down here. However, Val does have his ultimate, and Vigar has the cage. Schlitten is just sending full speed down to bot lane. He wants to join his team here. They know that Ithaca is looking for a play. As now, after spending a lot of time down there, they're just going to end up canceling the play, sending Skarner back to farm in the jungle. As Gimmick isn't really taking much damage right now. And it looks like Lucian did end up going the Swifties, trying to do as much as he can to survive the engage. Nasus sending the ultimate. It's going to make Ithaca just back out, wait out that ultimate. Right now, everyone proceeding just to keep farming. Lucian has completed his cull, so even though he has 1-1, it puts him probably even or a little bit ahead. Tarleton, they do have that slight gold lead, but it's so slight, it won't matter in any of these team fights. As this dragon is spawning in 25 seconds, it's going to come down to these picks. And last time we saw both top laners join, now they both have teleport. It's going to make it a lot easier to roam, they don't just have to walk down. Bjorn looks like he might just give this top tower to make sure he has plenty of HP to join his team. As the Boo Boo also looks for a back, possibly getting his second item that will put him ahead of Lucian here. Yeah, he does get the Storm Surge. That's how it's called. Yes, sir. As they are heralding mid lane, looking to get these plates. Skarner will be into this back line, though. He's going to have to flash away as Nasus Wither threatens him. So Skarner not be able to flash ult the enemy here. It's going to make it harder to engage, but they do have the rest of their summoners up. Rumble is already at this fight. Bjorn just looking to push. Tarleton are just going to give this dragon. Since Rumble has joined this fight, they're just going to end up trying to let Bjorn get back in the game a little bit. They have to be wary of this Bard ultimate. They can't overstep. Gimmick, does he get the tower? Oh, it'll survive. Oh, no, it doesn't. It falls to the last minion auto. Ooh, but Schlitten is in trouble as he gets Bard ultimate. The Skarner is just mistimes it a little bit, allowing Schlitten to flash away in time. Was looking very scary. They do get the summoner. Ooh, the cage comes out, lands some big chunk damage. Tarleton will be able to finish this tower just by an auto attack. In the meantime, Ithaca's team did pick up that tier 1 mid lane. Once again, Tarleton having the tower advantage, getting that extra one bot lane. However, Cassiopeia is about to finish the Rod of Ages, giving her that extra level up. Ooh, looks like they're going to try to find a cheeky play on Rumble. However, he has lived the 1v2 before. And he's going to play back far enough. Darius does have Flash Ghost. We're going to see if anything happens. The Shredbreaker comes out. Oh, he's going to flash onto the Teemo. Definitely going to trade 1 for 1 here. It's going to be Schlitten's life for the Rumbles. I mean, in the end, getting all of Rumble sums. It's like Ithaca do want to cash in on this mid tower, looking to get some plates this time. Knowing that Schlitten has died top lane, it's one less thing to worry about. Gimmick is just going to ult the Cassiopeia. Both are going to use their Ghost. She'll just be able to live for now. Also getting the Swifties. So 3 members on Ithaca, or 4 actually, because the Bard as well. Building that just to minimize Wither's effect. I mean, after that first fight, where that Nasus was able to really carry it with the Wither. It's like Ithaca just don't want to repeat that. If any of y'all are curious, the reason why you want Swifties over Merc Treads, because Merc Treads do reduce CC, but the Swifties here, I guess we should probably look at one that isn't upgraded. It reduces slows by 25%. In the end, it's more effective into Nasus, as it also gives you more movement speed. It shortens the time of Wither, since it is just a slow. And you're able just to have more movement speed to survive it, so it's definitely the boots of choice. Skarner is the only one that's going to get effective. Even then, he does have the Merc Treads, so we'll shorten that timer as well. Everyone is just kind of sitting in some bushes, looking for some picks. Skarner going in. However, it looks like Jaina might be caught. Or it might just be Skarner that's caught. Ooh, as Gimmick hits the Blast Cone, he goes in, Cassiopeia flashes away right away, not wanting to deal with that at all. Gimmick just instantly proccing the ult, trying to look for a kill, but again, it just fizzles out. This game so far, both teams are playing extremely careful and backing out at every opportunity, not wanting to give up any lead they have. Ithaca actually going for an early Baron here. We're going to see if Tarleton figures it out or if they're able to sneak it. As right now, not any pings are coming out, so I feel like Tarleton just doesn't know. Yeah, I mean, Tarleton won't even move as there's not aware. Ithaca take the Baron buff a minute before this dragon spawn. With these powered up minions, they'll definitely give them priority in the mid lane, getting that push, so even if Tarleton does get this dragon, they might be able to trade for some towers. So right now, Tarleton will look to reset, or at least Labubu will. Trying to get an item again. We did see him do that last time at Dragon. Now he just gets another needlessly large rod, getting that 60 extra AP. Let's go and do a stat check real quick. He does have 243, putting him at 605 AP. As soon as he gets this death cap, he's going to skyrocket there. So Tarleton, they could give this dragon again, just letting Lububu get more farm. But it looks like they do want to fight it as Gimmick goes and sends out the Wither against Skarner. And he does get caught by the Darius E. Lucian ult will force them to back out. Liger gets a little bit of chunk on the Rumble, but nothing major. It looks like Tarleton will be able to shred this dragon's going to come up to a 50-50. Schlitten gets it before anything happens, though. The Bartle comes out, it hits Schlitten. But, wow, okay, Tarleton get the dragon. That's going to be really good for them as they're able to just delay these fights even longer from having to do anything too crazy. Tarleton are kind of in a bad spot. If I was them, just back out. As Gimmick is trying to look for more. Darius does take the portal, but they are just getting poked out. Yeah, in the end, nothing happens besides Gimmick using the ultimate. Ithaca do try to look to push with this Baron buff. As Bjord will pick up some waves in bot lane. Gimmick just trying to find any poke as he can. Bard starting to get pretty low. Ithaca right now are just playing a dangerous game, going back and forth, poking Tarleton out. Tarleton has been getting some resets in, so the last fight they have healed up from. They're going to use their Baron recalls to back out. Now with their members at half HP, and Rumble needing to reset to defend against Darius, Ithaca's push will end from here. Not being able to pick up a single tower, even though they had Baron buff. It looks like they might get a kill here. Rumble once again finding a solo kill on Bjord. He's just hitting every single E, making it hard for Bjord to even move. Labubu has to be close to approaching this death cap, as he's been sitting now after that dragon for a bit on this cache that he has. You can also see these Teemo Shrooms starting to come into play, as one does almost a quarter of Lucian's HP. I mean, if that happens right before a drag fight, that's a big chunk. Well, Gimmick is getting engaged on here bot lane. Ithaca want to get this tower, but it's going to be hard as Gimmick does have that ghost. The Bard ult is coming out. It's going to be a 2v4 here. That Lucian ult is just shredding through Gimmick's HP, as Janna is doing everything they can to keep him alive. And and in the end, Skarner ult gets the last bit of damage. Normally just use a CC, but in this scenario, I mean, does enough damage to kill. Rumble having to flash away after getting caught by Bjorn's E there. Both teams are... I mean, Ithaca really wants this tier 1, and Tarleton really wants to defend it. As Valdegrand is extremely low, he's going to have to reset. Do have the crystals on this tower. Bjorn flashing in onto the Rumble. He's going to ult, but Rumble stays alive with his shield. Ooh, that Bard just chunking down Schlitten. Now Valdegrand and Schlitten extremely low. They're going to have to reset. In the end, they do defend that tier 1 tower. Both teams just wanting to keep it up. Probably just to have some of that prio for drag, and it gives them one extra lane to have some vision in, so it's harder for Ithaca to flank them. Bard trying to look to finish it, though. They do have the 3 grubbies, so even Bard just hitting it once there will do that damage over time, weakening the tower for the next time they push. The next time they push, they should have all those crystals on the tower, allowing them to almost one-shot it. Ooh, Labubu does have the death cap. Let's do a little AP check. He's at 875 AP. While Cassiopeia is at 290, so you can just see that difference those stacks make with that death cap. And he's, in the end, getting an extra 203 AP from it right now. One of the most effective items on Vigar. And right now, Labubu has been the main player for Tarleton and the Gimmick's Wither here. Those are the 2 main tools Tarleton has to win these fights. Now Dragon spawning in 25 seconds. Tarleton might look to play for it again, as they did win that last Dragon play. In the meantime, Gimmick will be split pushing. He's going to take out a tower extremely quick, because I mean that's just what Nasus does. He does have teleport to get to his team as well. 9 seconds left on this Dragon spawn. Ithaca are surrounding it. Looks like they want to start it right off the bat. And Tarleton are going to give the Dragon and get the Baron instead. Ithaca might be aware of this, as they're going to look to instantly roam Bard, using his Shiralis to speed up his team. The Bard ult will prevent Tarleton from doing Baron for a bit. Ooh, Gimmick did use his ult as well. Tarleton really need to secure this, as the Vigar Cage coming out. They do get the Baron buff, but 2 get caught in the Bard ultimate. Followed up with the Skarner ult. That's going to cause them to die. Trading 0 for 2, but they do get that Baron buff. We'll have to see how that turns out for them. As this will help them defend, make it a little bit harder for Ithaca to find these towers. Yeah, it looks like Ithaca are just probably going to look to wait it out, play for their Dragon Soul. Tarleton just not wanting to lose a fight there, losing both Dragon and Baron, so they end up just trading 1 for 1. Lucian looks like he might be able to finish his last crit item before this Dragon spawn as well. That'll be a big boost of damage for him. As we have seen in these previous fights, he'll just ult down Gimmick, and with this LDR, Infinity Edge, and Essence Reaver, it really just chunks him down. I mean, he is trying to build Randuin's Omen now to prevent that crit damage from hurting him too much, but as it stands, that Lucian ult just... he has to be wary of it. as Rumble still playing into Darius. He's been winning the matchup all game so far. And it looks like Tarleton's bot lane are going to look to stop the Rumble here. Rumble noticing it, but he may not have enough time. He doesn't have Flash to get away. He does send the Zonias. That's going to allow Tarleton just to set up and allow Labubu to get a shutdown. Now making him 2-0. Ithaca are going to respond by getting the tier 2 in mid lane. While Tarleton are continuing to push bot lane, looking for their own tier 2, trying to make it an even trade. Now Ithaca are going to respond again by sending Bard. Ooh, that Vigard damage! Chunking Cassiopeia down to dangerous levels. Skarner's going to have to flash away as he's afraid as well. Now Lucian and Bard trying to look for this top tier 2, trying to keep ahead with these objectives. In the end, Gimmick should be able to defend it though. He does have that Omen, so it should provide him enough tankiness to live from Lucian, and they know that, so they're just going to go ahead and reset. And look for this dragon that's spawning in 2 minutes. Another very long game. 32 minutes in. I'm about to see the 6th dragon this game. Might continue to go on even longer. I mean, that's the perfect game for scaling champions like these, though. Nasus and Vigar wanting to farm it out as long as possible, get as strong as they can. We already saw one combo from the Vigar. Chunked Cassiopeia down just a third of her HP. That's enough for either one Schlitten Shroom or Bjord to just reset his ultimate one time to start a chain of events that can help Tarleton win these team fights. But still, both teams neck and neck in gold. No true lead anywhere. It's just up to how these teams play these team fights, who's able to ult who. Right now, Bjord getting an early pick onto Cassiopeia. We're going to see how this plays out for him. Schlitten's trying to come down in time to help him. Cassiopeia ults early on here. And that should be the end of that fight. Now, I don't know if Cassiopeia will have ult. It looks like she will. It's already a quarter of the way through. Still has a minute till Dragon. Should have plenty of time. Check to make sure. Yeah, she'll have it up in 40 seconds. That's in time for Dragon, so not a waste. Tarleton right now, they do have that vision control. I mean, Schlitten and Shrooms just add on to it, giving them more presence. Skarner just going this full MR build with his HP, looking just to survive that Vigar damage. Talk about him in the draft. Ooh, Labubu having to flash away from Bard ult. Bard won't have ultimate for this dragon anymore. Labubu able to find a big chunk of damage onto Rumble. He's now at half HP. Labubu continuing to find these skill shots. If he's able to continue to poke Ithaca like this, they won't have any HP to fight this dragon, so Tarleton's going to start it right now. Vigar once again chunking, but Skarner has enough MR, doesn't really do much. We're going to see which team, and Schlitten gets the dragon. This game is just going to get drawn out even longer as Labubu 1100 stacks, or 1100 AP. I mean, that'd be crazy if he had that much in stacks. But let's see how much stacks he does have. Yeah, 370. He's going for some of his last items. That's the one nice part about Vigar APC is you get that extra item slot. So he'll almost always be stronger than... I mean, he will just be stronger than any other mage in the game. And even Lucian. Lucian just has to get caught once and he'll get one shot. I mean, just due to his natural squishiness. But at the same time, if he's able to play far back and land these Cholines like he has been so far, he should end up being okay. Skarner is their entire front line, like you've seen. He's the only one that isn't getting chunked down by these Vigar combos. At this point, Vigar is almost just having a smite of his own as he's able to secure that Scuttle Crab at 900 HP with 1 Q. Tarleton, they know they're in that bush waiting. Ithaca wanting to do this dragon before... Sorry, the Baron before next dragon spawn. They're going to start it up here. as Tarleton are starting to play around it. Darius is TPing in. Ithaca, they got the teleport, so they might just back out. Yeah, that's all they wanted in the end. Stop the Darius from split pushing. He won't have that teleport for quite some time. Why Rumble should have his. In the meantime, Tarleton's going to push mid lane. Ooh, the Bard ult comes out, but it does miss. And Vigar Cage will be able to trap Bard, but Labubu isn't able to land any damage onto him. He is starting to run out of mana, so he's going to have to look for a reset. That is the one problem with this Vigar build. He's going pure damage, not really having much mana items to keep him long-lasting, but is a good trade-off. That's what Tarleton really needs. Lucian getting hit by a Schlitten Shroom once again, chunking him down. Looks like the minions were able to get a bot tier 2, leaving the inhibitor towers the last remaining. Tarleton having the slight gold lead. It's only 1.5 gold, so not much. Everyone is starting to max out at level 18 here, besides the top laners. In their last few levels as well. Bjord going a really heavy magic resist build. Just wanting to stay alive from Cassiopeia and Rumble. We've seen what this Rumble has been doing to him all game. He's having to build forward and play really safe. Right now, Ithaca's trying to clear some of this farm. Bard gets taken out by just a W and a Q. I mean, that's the problem with it being 38 minutes into the game now. Vigar is just going to become more and more of a threat. Just now one-shotting one member with not even having to ult. Lucian getting poked down, and Gimmick is there. He slows Lucian. Lucian has to flash, but Vigar is coming up from the side, and he gets ulted right into his team. Tarleton, they find another and another as they take out 3 members, minute-long death timers. Tarleton might just be able to end it here. I mean, they have Nasus. They're going to look for Skarner, just wanting to make sure that Ithaca won't have a defense. As Gimmick takes him out, and just one pick starts the downfall for Ithaca, as Tarleton having the stacks they need to end out this game. Vigar flashing in on the Rumble. He uses the Zonias, but he doesn't have flash or anything to get away. He tries to take out Val the Grand, but it's not enough. Lucian up in 20 seconds, but we saw this happen last game. The ADC won't be able to respawn in time, as Tarleton will secure Game 2, bringing us to a best of 3 here, going to Game 3. A really close game up until the very end. Labubu just one-shots and finds pick after pick. We'll see it in this after-game screen. The damage, the carnage Labubu caused this game. 45k damage, just doing the most in the game besides Rumble, of course. Doing a lot for Ithaca there. But yeah, in the end, Tarleton find a victory in Game 2. This is going to bring us to a Game 3. I'll let you know whenever draft starts, but so far, both teams playing their best. The gold difference is so minimal up until these last few fights. Been a really fun series to watch, but I'll see you guys back whenever Game 3 starts. I'll see you there.
Spend
Just a short little break, and here we are going back into the final draft tonight. Instantly, we see the Corki, Caitlyn, and Thresh bans out. I mean, we can see in the middle of the screen right here all the champions that are banned from the previous games. This is what Fearless is all about. You get to game 3. Instantly, 20 champions are gone. And then there's going to be another... Now, I guess 26 instantly gone with the 6 bans initially. Mumu being first picked. We have seen Schlitten improve over the weeks on this pick. The past few, he's been able to find a lot of good carry moments, a lot of great engages with his ultimate. He's been landing the skill shots. We're going to see if that carries over to this week, as Ithaca will pick the Ivern jungle. I mean, so far they played engaged junglers with the Zac and Skarner. Definitely switching it up here with the Ivern pick. Looking just to play for their soul laners or their ADC. And they're going to take the Swain, denying Gimmick from the pick. That is the positive about Red side here in Game 3. They're able to pick 2 champions, snagging away what Gimmick was most likely going to play and having the Victor Mel banned. Try to see what he pulls out here. I mean, a lot of his typical champions are gone now. Oh, the Orianna. Now, if y'all been a long time watcher, you'll know that he used to play Orianna all the time. So it's the classic coming out of retirement almost. And that should be Labubu Smolder. Again, looking to scale. I mean, they found great success on it last game, stalling out to 40 minutes until they got enough stacks where Vygar could just one-shot. And that allowed them to find the pick that ultimately led them to winning the game. So yeah, Labubu going for another scaling champion. Ooh, also, I gotta check. Cass, are you back? Are you still gone?
I am, chat. I am back.
Oh my
Hopefully
goodness, the goats!
This game, my client won't bug out and I won't get stuck, kicked out of the game. But yeah, I was gonna say, they finally put, I believe, the name of the individual on Ithaca's Ivern is Bay.
No, just the second one. Like halfway through.
Are finally playing Ivern. I was wondering if they would play that tonight, so we'll get to see Daisy out on Summoner's Rift. And yes, I loved how Tarleton played last game, just stalling it out. Ithaca was not able to get the game finished before Labubu and Gimmick could get their stacks up so they could just steamroll the team.
And you know what it all came down to, Cass? Vision. Vision is what led Tarleton to be able to secure those dragons. With the Teemo Shrooms and Val's warding, they were able to set themselves up for a lot of those later Drakes that made it really hard for Ithaca to play into those fights. But now this time, they're going for just a long-lasting teamfight comp here, going plenty of shields with the Karma and Ivern, wanting to keep Senna and Swain alive as long as possible. Ithaca returning the Labubu Smolder pick with a Senna, looking just to scale along with him.
I was watching, and yes, there goes my Val. The King's support, setting up Vision for his team. He knows, I have told him time and time again, Vision wins games. Wards win games. But yeah, I am seeing a lot of shields, but I mean, one, what is it, Serpent's Fang? One Serpent's Fangs, and those shields they go bye-bye.
Very true. Ooh, and Tarleton are going to go with the Blitzcrank. So, I mean, if Senna gets hit by one hook in this late game, she's going to get bursted, and I don't know if she'll be able to stay alive unless her teammates really just dive in and try to save her. But yeah, last game, Val had a lot of major plays. He was able to find that early mid-gank, played it very well, got both the Cassiopeia summoners, and allowed Gimmick to get a kill, and that kind of what led him to be a menace for most of the game there. So Val just having these impactful roams, and now playing Blitzcrank, another champion that, I mean, we've seen him roam plenty of times before. Riven picked for Ithaca. I was under the impression that Garen stomps Riven, but I guess maybe it could just be a skill matchup as well, as they have picked into it. Maybe they are confident in the matchup. Not too for sure how it goes right now. I know after those Riven buffs a couple patches ago now, I guess a couple months ago now, she has been a lot more playable. And we're going to see how that ends up for them. I mean, currently, last game, Bjord picked the Darius into Rumble, and it ended up being, a really hard matchup for him, as he solo died quite a few times, but he was able to rock up to some team fights, and his ease, or it really just helped provide his team with some extra CC and extra, just some potential to get a pick. But now Tarleton looking for another scaling comp. Be interesting to see here.
I am surprised that they didn't go with the Rel.
That's absolutely right. I mean, yeah, breaking those shields, one-shotting the shields, could have been massive. I mean, Tarleton just has to get a Serpent's Fang here, with Riven having a bunch of built-in shields, and of course the Karma and Ivern. I mean, you gotta hope it's not a Mountain Soul game. But so far in this series, in every game, it's been extremely long. It comes down to this last dragon every time. I mean, both the teams have done a great job at team fighting, finding picks, getting these objectives, and just trying to play it safe and careful. But it always comes down to that last team fight. Which team can get a pick, which team can really start the end of it all. Gotta say, this time around, I mean, I feel like this game's going to be pretty top dependent, as Garen and Riven have to be a pretty volatile matchup. If Garen gets ahead, his ult will be a major impact in these team fights, as he should be able to one-shot Senna. But at the same time, if Riven gets ahead, then they're going to have someone that can lead the charge and kind of shove the way in for Ithaca to take over team fights.
I agree, and this game I am leaning towards Tarleton's draft. I do like their team better with the Orianna, Mumu, Blitzcrank ult combos that they can get off. Blitzcrank can get picks in the early and mid game, and I think Tarleton just needs to get the game to 22 minutes just for Labubu to get online with that smolder stack. And I think as long as Ithaca hasn't snowballed, they should have it in the bag this game.
Yeah, and one thing is, a lot of people underestimate the smolder damage. I mean, now with the Essence Reaver change in this season, Smolder, whenever he gets that item, he gets a big power spike, and he can, especially with the Blitzcrank, one hook, the Smolder E is really slept on, where he just flies around them and spit down his fire, does so much damage early on, and we've seen it happen in the past where Labubu is able to get a lead on this champion. And of course, a lead on Smolder is just better than usual, as, I mean, you can just progress your stacks even faster, and at a certain point, you'll just be scaling like insanely hard. But I will say one thing is Ivern. Daisy can sometimes be an enemy, as it's just another target for Smolder to try and pass on their Q to the enemy's backline. Because a lot of times people want to keep their Daisy close to their team to keep her alive. So they might just try to suicide bomb her, or Tarleton might just be able to use it against them.
Yeah, I can't even. I don't see Daisy being able to get past Garen and Mumu and Blitzcrank to even get to Orianna and Smolder unless a Mumu gets a nasty all in and they just sneak Daisy in the backline. But I don't know if Ivern will be able to pull that off. It'll be nice to see though, because their name is Ivern is Bay, so I'm wanting to see some really cool Ivern techs.
Yeah, fair enough. Whenever you see a one trick finally get their champion, like we saw Schlitten on the Teemo jungle, his favorite champion in the game. Tarleton were able to find a W off of it. Gotta say, this game, I mean, so far in all three drafts, everyone's looking for these team fights. It's just Ithaca is now switching up the comp quite a lot. Instead of having a bunch of tanky engagers, they're now going for some more damage mixed with shield combo, just trying to keep their damage dealers alive. However, kind of what I was talking about earlier, if Riven does get ahead, she can quickly turn to not just a damage dealer, but a tank in and of herself. I mean, that champion can just snowball like crazy, and if they're able to have a similar top matchup like last game, then I mean they have the potential to take it far.
Yeah, especially with the new level 20 top laners. Labubu and Gimmick, they do not want to see a level 20 Riven running around while they're still a level 15. That's a nightmare waiting to happen. But with only 25 seconds left, hopefully my game will not bug out. But if I do just go immediately quiet, again, I'll just let PowPow take the full on reins, and I'll just sit back and be sad while
I'll tell you what, if it does fail, we'll try to stream it, and you guys, the chatters, are gonna have to let us know if it's gonna lag out the stream. If it does lag out the stream, then I will just we will have to say goodbye to Cass, unfortunately. But if it doesn't, and the Wi-Fi is good today, then we'll be able to keep ya. But as we get into this loading screen, we have spawned into the rift. Are you here with us, Cass?
I am.
Let's go.
We just gotta make it past 8 minutes without my game.
That's the death timer right there.
It happened game 1, but I was able to fix it. Game 2, I was not.
It's very interesting. I guess around the first dragon fight or something, it just scares your PC into shutting down.
Yeah, can't handle it.
I will say,
I said it's happened quicker.
Tarleton were red side for the first 2 games. Since Ithaca lost, they chose to go red themselves. So Tarleton now on the left side, Ithaca on the right. They have switched it up, just in case y'all get a little confused at home. And now that you mentioned the Ivern's name, I'm looking at the other members. Rob the Frog, it sounds like a goated name. I love names like that just roll off the tongue. Ooh, Val finding an early hook. I mean, you can see that poke damage, even though they went that Senna Karma. The Blitzcrank and Smolder Q can hurt. Gimmick playing aggressive on this Orianna. You will see Oriannas play like this a lot of the time. They have a lot of poke. They'll just try to knock out the enemy, forcing them to back early on. So far, though, Gimmick has been doing a great job tonight about CSing and staying healthy in his lane. He's been surviving ganks, and he's also provided some roams.
And commenting on what you said about Gimmick in the mid lane, Gimmick should also, since he is, Swain is one of his better characters, he should be able to know how to counter and what to do to get past Swain's trading.
Yeah, that's where Gimmick excels, is whenever he's in a matchup he's very comfortable with. Like last game, I feel like a Cassiopeia should be able to typically beat a Nasus, but just his mastery on the champion allowed him to stay healthy and end up actually winning the lane. Ooh, as Ivern is early ganking, however, he does dodge it. Amumu is here to help out. However, he doesn't need to, as he'll continue to farm. Now, Ivern isn't a champion we typically see. So do you kind of want to explain his uniqueness to the viewers that may not know him?
Yeah, so Ivern is considered an enchanter jungler. So he will actually build enchanter support items such as Redemption, Shrelia's, even Mikhail's, because all he wants to do is just get his shield on top of his allies, which because after I believe it's 2 seconds, that shield will burst and it'll do magic damage to everyone around the person that Ivern shielded. And he can also put this on Daisy. So again, just having those buffs, as we can see here, And he has a root, which almost got Bjord. He had to use flash there.
Yeah, and one big thing about Ivern, which y'all saw on that Scuttle Crab, is he doesn't hurt the enemy, or he doesn't hurt any of the jungle camps. He's friends with them. So he'll just end up putting this ring around them, and after some time, he'll be able to basically eat it for free. The only thing is he can smite it, and so he can skip that timer. But I'm gonna stop talking for a second as Tarleton's bot lane looked for a kill. Karma forced to flash and heal. Ivern looking for the gank. Yeah, he's still looking down here. Tarleton is aware of it, so they're just gonna back out. But just to finish the thing about Ivern, he does have to smite it to instantly kill the camp, or he can just wait out the timer. So sometimes you'll see them invade a lot whenever they do have their smite up, so they can just put it down real quick and steal a blue buff or a red buff from the enemy. So there is a lot of skill expression on that champion. But exactly what Cass was saying is it is, yeah, like more of a support character, which makes them very unique, very cool.
And I don't know a single jungler main that likes going against an Ivern. They all hate that champion. Daisy will just run you down, and you'll just have a rock hitting you for 20-25 seconds.
Ithaca
Ooh, dodges both of those. CC.
And more surprisingly right now, Labubu is already racking up a sizable CS lead with the minion wave stabilizing. Senna is currently down almost 20 CS at just 5 minutes in the game. This Blitzcrank is just putting on that pressure that's really forcing Ithaca to play safe, as any one of those hooks, if they hit, it's going to cost a lot of their HP here. Ivern once again looking for another bot gank, the third one in a row. Blitzcrank going to flash it as Schlitten joins up. He has the level lead. Another Q finds onto Ivern. Ivern's going to flash it. And the camera's going to switch us over to top lane as they are fighting. But in the end, Tarleton, Blitzcrank ended up using flash, but Ivern had to flash away. With Schlitten having that level lead, he's going to start up this dragon, not being too afraid. Right now, Tarleton is just trying to look to crash in this wave, possibly reset. Labubu should have enough gold to get his Sheen. The Sheen in combination with Blitzcrank's CC can really chunk down people. So right now we see Bjord and Riven fighting it out.
And Schlitten secures the mountain dragon.
So that means it won't be Mountain Soul. So that is one good thing for Tarleton. And it looks like Bjord's going to find the 1v1. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. The Garen just has to press Q, and Riven just can't play the game. He's able to finish her down. Both of them have Ignite, but just the Garen's ultimate judgment just kills Riven right there. Okay, Val finds a hook, but Tarleton doesn't really have much mana to follow up. However, it is enough to scare Senna into flashing. Still keeping that 20 CS lead. Tarleton are going to need to back here real soon. Right now, though, after Ivern spent so much time on bot lane, he had to end up going up to his top side to clear those camps, giving Tarleton some breathing room, not having to reset quite yet. We're going to see Gimmick's ult coming out with the Amumu ult. Swain taken down really low. Can he survive? He does have plenty of shields, and he is healing from his Conqueror. Amumu forced back. I mean, that you see right there why people go Ivern. He can just rock up and keep his team alive long enough to get them out of dangerous situations like that.
And that was a beautiful CC combo by Tarleton with Gimmick ulting and then Schlitten waiting just those few seconds to ult to maximize the amount of time that Swain would have to just sit there and take damage.
It was almost enough, but Swain survived off of like 100 HP, I believe, and once he got his ult out, he's able to heal it from that, get his Conqueror to heal him, and eventually Ivern just guaranteeing his life. Right now, looks like Schlitten wants these grubs. He got that first dragon. He wants this next objective. When they have the prio in the top and mid. Ooh, Val's going to look for an aggressive hook. He's getting CC'd under tower. And he won't be able to move, so he ended up dying due to the tower shots. Now, Riven going in on Ivern. The stun comes out, and Riven being silenced can't play the game. I mean, that's why it's normally a one-sided matchup. That's why I was kind of interested in why they picked the Riven here. But right now, Tarleton getting these early objectives gonna help them scale and stay in this game for a while. They get all 3 of the grubs. Ooh, Blitzcrank has returned. He knocks up the Karma, ignites her, looking to finish off the kill, but Karma's going to flash away. Senna is now slowed, but with her E, she should be able to get out in time. Blitzcrank doesn't have Hook quite just yet. They might look for a tower dive now that Karma's mid lane. They should have saw her on with the minion waves from mid. As Val the Grand hits another hook, chunking her down even lower. Smolder doesn't have ultimate. Senna's just going to dodge some shots to survive. However, she keeps losing more and more CS. So even though Tarleton isn't getting a kill, they're eventually just going to have a kill's worth of gold from the CS alone.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that each time Val gets a hook, Labubu just doesn't have mana for it.
Now we see Ivern ganking once again. Tarleton are having to run away from it. They both have flash. Labubu's just going to use his to stay alive. Amumu gets in, gets a 2-man ultimate. Ivern getting taken down really low. Amumu is starting to look for more. Right now, Ivern just doesn't have any items yet, so he's still extremely squishy. His shields don't really do too much. Tarleton starting on some low HP. Smolder doesn't have much mana either. However, he's probably just waiting to get his Essence Reaver, as that will be his next power spike. Gotta say, right now, Schlitten's doing a great job at not only getting objectives, but he's also out CSing this Ivern. Up 20 right now. Ooh, I'm surprised Senna didn't follow up with her ult there. Oh, she didn't have any mana. Both members just not able to really stay for these kills right now. Val going in. Labubu won't be able to follow up. As he's just going to put on that pressure. The Senna ult misses. And the hook does not. But at the same time, the Mantra Q from Karma is able to kill Labubu. Alright, Swain missed the hook. So Gimmick's just going to run away. Senna is knocked up, but Schlitten will miss the Q, so they won't be able to follow up on that.
Yeah, I'm noticing in the mid lane, this Swain just keeps going down to that kind of C-shaped bush right there that Val is next to, and then keeps using his Q at bot lane to slow them. And then just walks back mid.
Just trying to help out his team as much as he can. Both the ADCs have finished their first item. Senna, once again, going for Cole in all 3 games. Going for this item. They are typically able to stack it without any issues. Right now, I feel like the next hook is going to do major damage. As Smolder does have that Essence Reaver. And they know that Ivern has crossed map, so they're probably looking for this dragon here. Ivern still doesn't have an item though, and Schlitten does, so if he's able to make it in time, they do have that extra damage over them. You see Val hooking the Karma, knocks her up. Labubu is getting engaged on though. He's running extremely low. But in the end, it's going to be Karma, the first one to fall. Ithaca just doesn't have any damage to follow up after a great engage there.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be Ithaca's main problem with having both a Karma and an Ivern. They're not going to have that extra amount of damage, so they're going to have to lean much more on their carries for damage this game.
Yeah, and Swain at the same time, he's not really a burst champion. He wants to survive long in these fights. But at the same time, that's what Tarleton wants as Smolder. He wants to drag out these fights. He wants to scale with his Q and get out a bunch of poke damage, especially as it evolves. So damage is definitely going to be a problem, especially when Riven is now 0-2, falling behind, and this Garen so far has been able to shut her down in all these fights, making it hard for her to contribute. Schlitten did pick up the dragon, so Tarleton now getting every objective so far. They got him the 3 grubs, and they got him the 2 dragons, and it's going to be Ocean Soul in this game. You see Ivern is top right now. Still, looks like Smolder and Amumu are doing a great job about keeping their CS leads. Schlitten up 20 CS and 3 objectives, and then Labubu is now up 40.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Ithaca that it's Ocean Soul because now Tarleton has that free vision bush for Dragon for the rest of the game.
Ooh, right now, though, they are looking for a kill. They take out Labubu, as he doesn't have flash up just quite yet. At the same time, Ivern looks for a gank top lane. However, Bjord is able to dodge the initial engage. But Ithaca are still looking, as Swain has rotated as well. Garen just able to stay alive. Blitzcrank stops the Senna's back. On the top side of the map, it looks like Ithaca has started the Herald. Okay, Schlitten has killed Daisy. So without Ivern ult, the Mumu definitely has priority here. As Val once again stops Senna's back. I mean, now stopping it 3 times, they are mad as they chase Val down, getting the root off. However, now Labubu has returned with full HP. Val hits yet another hook, and that's going to allow Labubu to get a kill as he flashes in to secure it. It's now just him versus Senna. And he has the barrier. It looks like they'll be able to live and back off here. Swain and Ivern have joined their teammates down here to try and pick off a kill. But Tarleton has already backed out in time, and they should be able to live. Ooh, the hook comes out! Knocks Swain under tower, as it looks like Schlitten goes in, ults. However, his team cannot follow up as they just don't have the HP. As they continue their tower dive. However, Ivern is going to die to tower. Oh no, he lives! But not for long, as Gimmick TP's down and picks up a kill. But it looks like Senna died too. I'm not quite sure to what. But the kills end up trading out evenly, 2 for 2.
It ends up being 2 for 3. Val ended up dying to Daisy.
Great thing to mention, but Bjord picks up the first tower. Or I guess not the first tower. I just realized all tier 1 towers are gone. Just like that, Tarleton opens up the map, and Bjord wins the 1v1 yet again. Starting to make you question why they last picked Riven here.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, because Bjord has shown us time and time again he's just the master at dueling. He just understands how to trade in top lane and then how to get the advantage over his enemy.
And he did have a rough game too, but game 1 he was definitely in that same position where, I mean, on that Alawi he's almost able to 1v9. It was quite not enough in the end, but he did pour on a stellar performance, and once again he's doing the same thing on Garen, a champion we have seen him play quite a few times, a champion he's really confident in. Tarleton here just positioning themselves, just continuing to push and farm. Smolder, 40 CS lead on the Senna, Same with Schlitten in the jungle. Fight might be breaking out here soon. I was gonna... Next downtime we have, we'll check the Smolder stacks.
Boo is at 192 stacks, which is very good as it's not even 19 minutes in.
W, you're just gonna be the stat counter. It's too OP. Daisy right now stayed alive for a long time, causing Val some issues. However, they're not able to kill him again. They just don't really have much damage to follow up. As Tarleton will be able to siege this tier 2 tower with the Herald, allowing them to take it down at just 8 or 19 minutes in the game. This is by far the biggest gold lead we've seen at 19 minutes. 5k going to Tarleton. As a team fight breaks out, Ivern stays alive on 1 HP. Labubu, however, is getting caught, but with the Moo stun, it's not enough. Now it's just Riven to win anything in the back line. He does take out Gimmick there, claiming a 200 gold shutdown. In the end, Tarleton, even though it is a 2-for-2 trade, they are able to pick up the dragon, getting 3 dragons, putting them on soul point. Ithaca has yet to find an objective this game. They do have the bounties as well, so if they can just kill these towers, it'll help put them back into the game, but as it stands, almost a 6k gold difference this early on with a scaling comp like Tarleton's. It's going to make it hard for them to come back.
Yeah, and with Bjord already being level 14 and Riven's down 2 levels, doesn't really have a lane to farm either.
Val has been playing it really aggressive this game, looking for every hook he can get. It's been working out, but right now Riven flashed in on the Boo. However, he's getting CC down, and he gets killed before he can do anything. As now Tarleton will continue to 2v4 this fight, while the rest of Tarleton does approach, and the ultimate does get popped off. Garen in the back line, shredding through them. He finds one. He tries to get a double kill, but Karma lives with a sliver of HP. Ithaca just trying to find a pick, but I mean the whole story of this game has just been the lack of damage. Not able to kill Smolder at this point. He'll just become even harder to kill as the game progresses. Tarleton are going to start a Baron buff here. I mean, down to 5k. Ithaca aren't close at all. Tarleton will be able to secure the Baron buff. Yet again, getting another objective onto the scoreboard. Smolder just increasing that gold difference and the CS difference. Now 40 CS ahead. Schlitten doing a great job on this Amumu pick. Into the Ivern one trick. He's up 50 CS. He's got more objectives, and his ganks so far have been really good as well, helping get his bot lane ahead, which is what really matters here. Is this Smolder is that late game assurance Tarleton has already past the 225 mark.
Yeah, I was about to say that Baron allowed him to get over his stacks to 232, as I saw. And now they're just going to have Baron and the Smolder 225 stack to just push and hopefully end. But we'll see.
Right now doing a 1-4 split. Garen is able to win against anyone in the side lane, so he's just going to split push there. As Val finds a hook onto the Senna, and she just gets one shot. That's what I was talking about in the pre-draft. This Blitzcrank one hook can do it all. As Riven has now tried to look for Labubu. However, he's staying alive long enough. The Swain does find the shutdown. However, at this point, they don't have any other damage. Without the Swain ultimate, they won't be able to stop Tarleton's push as they go ahead and secure this inhibitor at 23 minutes in the game. So far, the fastest game we've seen, and now a 9.5k gold difference. Val looks like he might be a little caught here. left alone to die. Looks like he just overstayed his welcome. He's trying to get out. He will slow himself in the end, as Blitzcrank does. And the Swain picks up another kill. You see some mass beings come out in chat. I mean, it wouldn't be a Tarleton game unless Val the Grand inted some... I mean, that is a classic.
I also just noticed that Schlitten full built Thornmail and got an Oblivion Orb. Those Grievous Wounds do not stack, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, you may not be aware, but I guess if they don't hit a Moo, they won't proc the Thornmail. But if he hits them, he will guarantee proc it with his Oblivion Orb. You gotta think about it in 5D here. Schlitten thinking about every possible scenario to secure the anti-heal. Also, they look for a pick before this dragon spawns. Man, we don't even have timers on this game. 7 seconds left. Ithaca is going to have to defend this mid-wave that's pushing into their base. In all 3 games, even though when they lost, Tarleton has been playing a really good macro game. Taking down these towers, putting in side pressure, having their waves pushed. And that also helps allow them to get vision in and secure these objectives.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what Ithaca's win condition would be. I mean, target the Smolder, but then again, you have the 6-0 level 16 Garen.
Yeah, I would say the Senna, but at any point, Garen just has to flash Q her, or the one Blitzcrank hook hits. As Val flashes in, starting this fight, they target the Ivern. However, they're playing a lot safer this time around. Schlitten is there to defend Val from getting caught. However, with that Swain ultimate ended, Tarleton will just look to keep pushing. Ooh, as Gimmick ults, finds 2 of them, and it looks like they'll be able to get the Swain as well. Riven still in top lane. Tarleton don't have anything to worry about, as it's just an Ivern and Karma. Yeah, Tarleton will just be able to get another inhibitor tower, possibly another inhib. At this point, 10k gold up. Smolder, he has the stacks. He's going for a tankier build too, so it's going to be really hard for him to get caught, as he'll have the HP to survive the Riven engage. So far, that's been their best chance in these teamfights, is this Riven finding a flank angle. But now, Labubu's just going to be tanky enough to survive it. Tarleton just probably looking for either a Baron or a Dragon to help give them that little extra boost to continue to siege and win these fights. I mean, Baron is spawning in 20 seconds, so they are playing a little bit safer for that.
Yeah, it looks like Bjord also got Executioner's Calling just to apply more Grievous Wounds, just in case.
Ooh, the hook finds Senna!
Oh!
She's gonna have to flash away.
Yeah, I do not. Ithaca has allowed their carry Senna to get blitz hooked over and over and over again. They cannot let that happen.
Yeah, the Riven sidestepped it. Ended up being worse for them. I mean, Riven can live the engage. Senna cannot. HP bar. Gimmick ult finds 4 of them as they continue to go through this fight. Swain used the Zonias and he flashed. But I don't know if it'll be enough. As, yeah, the Garen ult just executes him, leaving Riven last really damage dealer standing for Ithaca. Now that they've fallen, Karma joins them. Tarleton gets the ace after the Baron buff. They'll definitely be able to end it out here. But Tarleton, they take the victory tonight in Game 3.
That game was done beautifully on every single side of Tarleton. Every person, every team member did what they were supposed to do, and they just caught an easy win.
Yeah, I mean, securing every objective, Schlitten and Labubu building massive CS leads. I mean, they played the early game perfectly with this team comp, able to get ahead on the Smolder. In the end, Tarleton, able to secure a really clean game. I mean, I feel like both teams played really clean those first 2 games, as there were pretty low deaths and mainly just team fights, but we didn't even get to really the team fights this game, as Tarleton was way ahead in gold and they were able to end it out before anything happened. But I mean, GG's to both teams. It was a really fun series to watch and commentate, as how close the matches were and how intense they were as well. So much back and forth.
Yeah, and this is why I believe Riot did a great job like implementing Fearless, because we don't see the same team drafts over and over and over again. Like I think if we didn't have Fearless, I think Ithaca would have stayed with that AoE old tanky engage that they had game 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of it right there. Able to see a bunch of these different champions, be able to see people express how deeply their skill goes. I mean, Gimmick, after his champions being stolen from him in every game and him having a really hard time in these drafts, he's able to pick out an old pick and able to perform on it, able to find a lot of these ultimates in these later fights that made it easy for Tarleton to stomp through them. But yeah, in the end, guys, Tarleton won. Thanks for watching. I believe we'll be playing next week. Besides that, do you have any closing remarks you want to say, Cass?
Nope. GG, well played, Tarleton.
Alrighty. Well, we'll see you guys for tonight. Everyone, have a great one, and we'll see you next time.